Hey everybody, welcome to Active Self-Protection Extra. I made a couple of videos today that we've released over the last couple of weeks, and I used this magazine, and it reminded me that I haven't talked about why I keep this Glock magazine around, and it is a reminder of dark days. And I want to share with you, if you can see it a little bit there, I'm going to share a picture with it. This particular Glock magazine is a reminder of some dark days for firearms owners, and I just want to remind you how far we've come. Today's video is brought to us by Mantis. The Mantis family of products is integral to ASP staff building handgun and carbine skills and are your most economical and fastest path to improvement in your skills too. Whether you choose the X10, the Laser Academy, the Blackbeard, or use them all in concert, they will help your practice be more effective, efficient, and fun. Go check them out, pick up a unit, and thank them for sponsoring today's video. Now, in case you are wondering on where active self-protection stands on things, ASP has but one political position, and that is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, John Correa, of course, I am a person and I have a full orb of political views, but ASP is a Second Amendment absolutist, and that is it. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, I'm going to show you a picture. It's kind of hard to get the camera to it, so I took a picture of it with my iPhone, and I will flash it on screen for you because this particular magazine, it says across the top here, and I've had, I don't know how many years I've had this for, but it says across the top, it says restricted, LE/government only. It says that right across the top here. And then down through the middle between the rounds, because this is a 17-round magazine, it says Glock Inc., Smyrna, Georgia, 9.13.94. Now you're like, whoa, I don't know that I've ever seen one of these. You have to have been in the firearm space for a while to see one of these bad boys, because 9/13/94 is the day that President Clinton signed the Public Safety and Recreational Firearms Use Protection Act into law, which is more commonly known as the Federal Assault Weapons Ban. That from that date, September 13th, 1994, until it sunsetted in 2004, not 24, thank God, 2004, 10 years later, it made, I dropped it. It made magazines over 10 rounds illegal federally. So it neutered all private citizens. Now, thankfully, that sunsetted in 2004, and today you can buy standard capacity magazines, and us lowly plebs like me, a private citizen, can own these 17 rounders, and I happen to have, this is a VP9A1K 15 rounder, and I've got a bunch of AR-15 mags around in the house. They're, standard capacity 30 rounders. And those are okay now. But let's remember where we were in 1994. I keep this around, and when I first saw this magazine, part of me wanted to just hit it with a hammer and destroy it, because it was a reminder of when things sucked. And you know what we've seen in from that 10-year period? It didn't meaningfully change any statistics whatsoever in terms of violent crime. And if you look at violent crime in 2004 versus 2025, actually violent crime today is significantly lower than it was in 2004 when the Federal Assault Weapons Ban, or it's called the Public Safety and Recreational Firearms Use Protection Act, was sunsetted. So we had 10 years of private citizens not being able to own them. Then when that ended, we're like, oh no, we would expect violent crime to go up and problems to happen. If that's the case, it hasn't, right? Overall violent crime in the United States is down significantly over the last 21 years now. And that's true, right? So you're like, no, wait, no, it's not. Man, go look at the statistics. You can go look at the FBI Uniform Crime Report. It's clear as a bell that's actually true. In fact, that violent crime today is significantly lower than it was then. So I want you to also think about a couple things here. 1994, when this was enacted, right, when there was this wave of things, and I know plenty of people that were involved in the firearms space, in the Second Amendment space back then. I graduated from high school in 1993, so this all happened 94. I was in my freshman year at college, and I didn't really care about firearms, to be honest with you. I was too busy chasing girls and playing tennis. This particular one, in 1994, I looked it up this morning, 16 states in the United States had shall issue concealed carry. In 94, Arizona was one that initiated, kind of was the first modern state to go shall issue in 94. And there were 16 states that had some provision for shall issue CCW in 1994. Fast forward 31 years now to 2025, every state in the union is shall issue, and that is required now. Now, some states are still fighting that. I get it. If you live in Hawaii, if you live in California, even California has done better. Some sheriffs make it really, really difficult. New Jersey, New York, they can make it difficult as well. But on paper, at least, all 50 states, and that is the law of the land. And standard capacity magazines in most states are the law of the land. I think if I was a betting man, these magazine capacity restrictions based on the new New York State versus Rifle and Pistol Association v. Bruen, the Bruen decision, the text history and tradition decision of Bruen is not going to allow magazine capacity limits to stand. So I think those are going to come down. It's probably going to take another 10 years for those to wind their way through the courts in order to get to the Supreme Court, and those will come down as well. But sometimes we should hold on to these. We should hold on to the bad old days. We should not that we want to go back to them, but we should remember them, right? And man, a couple things on that. I think that in our political world, the various organizations out there, and I love the organizations that are fighting for people's right to keep and bear arms today. I think that's great work. But politicians in general, political parties in general, they farm outrage for clicks. Okay, they farm your fears in order to get you to donate money and in order to gain control over you. That's just the way that reality works, and that's both political parties, quite frankly. They just do it over different things. And here's the thing. I want you to recognize, from a right to keep and bear arms perspective, it is so much better today, it's ridiculous. I mean, with the new stuff now that, we just got a law signed that tax stamps on short barrel rifles, short barrel shotguns, and suppressors are $0. I think that's the start of more movement in that direction, that those, at least suppressors, hopefully soon enough will come off of the registry. Maybe we'll see how that goes, see what the court challenges look like now that there's no tax there, that it's not a tax anymore. Now it's just a registry. So that could be a problem. Hopefully that the courts start seeing it that way. Oh boy, that's true. So those are gone. And we're much better on firearms rights today, on keep and bear arms rights today. So much better. I mean, goodness sakes. 2008, when we had DC versus Heller, Chicago versus McDonald, Otis McDonald versus City of Chicago, and now NYSRPA v. Bruen. I mean, those three decisions are in the last 15 years, and those are, I guess, 17 years, 08. And those have been just earth-shattering to protect the right to keep and bear arms. We're really making crazy good strides in those vicinities. And let's remember that this is where we came from, right? That pendulum swung, and now we've swung it back, and we are continuing to swing it in that direction. But that brings up a real responsibility that those of us who participate in the right to keep and bear arms, that is to be good, sane, sober, moral, prudent people, not to be stupid morons with firearms that make us look bad, to give politicians ammo, as it were, or fodder in order to argue that it is irresponsible for private citizens to have standard capacity magazines. It's irresponsible for private citizens to have short barrel rifles or short barrel shotguns. None of that's true, right? It's totally great. I'm very strongly considering my MP5 that I have in the safe right now. It's one of my home defense guns, has a suppressor on it, that's got a stamp on it. But it's a pistol. It's arranged as a pistol right now with a brace on it. And I think as things kind of get going, that in January, I'm probably going to file for a short barrel rifle stamp for it. And then that way I can take the arm brace off of it and put a proper stock on it. So it's got an actual stock, which would be great. And to do that for $0, I've already got NFA items, so it's not like I'm not on the list already. And there's a couple of other guns that we might do that. So I want to recognize that things are much better. And I also want to recognize, don't get brought into the fear-mongering. Oh no, and it's so much more dangerous today. It's more dangerous with these standard capacity magazines. It's not. It's the FBI Uniform Crime Report. Look at the crime rates. Violent crime from 2004, when this expired, to 2025 has just down. And yes, there's always little blips in those things, and that's the vagaries of statistics. But the trend has been downward for the last 20 plus years. For the last 30 plus years, for goodness sakes. And so let's not buy into fear-mongering, okay? Yeah, but John, when there's a mass killing, they can kill more people with that. I'm not going to argue that firearm is not more capable of doing evil, but it's more capable of doing good too. And we see standard capacity magazines as important. We see people when they are restricted to 10 rounds. I actually filed a brief for this. Masad Ayub asked me for a little bit of help on a case that he was working in Oregon where they were talking about magazine limits, that we see plenty of cases where private citizens needed more than 10 rounds to win a gunfight. And we see those enough that, again, it's an important part of the right to keep and bear arms. We don't got to see them a million times. We just got to see that they happen. They do. And so, we don't want to fearmonger either way. So we see the positive side as well as the cost side. And it's up to us to be good, sane, sober, moral, prudent people. Anyway, happy to see this in my stuff today, this crappy, old school, restricted, law enforcement, government use only magazine. Thought I'd remind you how far we've come. Hope you have a great day and that puts a smile on your face and you remember life ain't bad, friends.